Guys, it's Jeffrey and welcome to a new Bo Reads World video. Today I am bringing you my TBR for the Booktubeathon, which starts tomorrow. And let's be real, going through your shelves and picking out the books to match each challenge is more fun than actually reading them, right? Yeah, I thought so. So for those who don't know, the Booktubeathon is a 7-day readathon which features 7 challenges, one of which is just to read 7 books, but the other 6 challenges always change every year, and I'll go through my books in this video and I'll match each book to every challenge, so you know, you'll get the gist. The first challenge is to read a book with a person on the cover, and for that challenge I have chosen La Superba by Ilja Leonard Pfeiffer, which is a Dutch author, and La Superba is actually Italian for the high-minded or something like that. I think it's like that. And this won a very prestigious, well, let's say it's the Man Booker of the Low Countries, and that is the Libris Prize, which, you know, like I said, it's like the Man Booker, so very prestigious. And this is actually a kind of love letter to the Italian city of Genoa. I haven't been there, so I have no idea what to expect from this book, but from the blurb I can tell you it's about hookers from their point of view, about the low life that swarms the inner depths of the city, so it's going to be, well, not a love letter you'd expect, I suppose. Then the second challenge is to read a high book, and for that challenge I have chosen, well, it's the only book that I could have chosen, and that is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. I have seen so many people, but especially Simon over at Savageries, rave about this book, about how much they enjoyed it, about how it reminds them of those more classics from the late 19th century. And from what I've gathered from reading the blurb, this is also taking place in that time period, about how a woman takes back her own life and moves to Essex, where there is a serpent, or not, I don't know. And it's about, you know, her struggles, how to overcome the death of her husband or something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. Then the third challenge is to read a book in one day, and for that one I have chosen, of course, a very slight book, and that is Trout Fishing in America by Richard Brottigan. This is one that has been recommended to me by a friend who is also in a book club with me, and from what I've gathered, from what she said to me, this is very bizarre, very surreal, very very weird, and I had a flick through it because it's mostly short stories, but they form a greater book part. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, I have seen sentences like he had a family, 2 great children, a house and a heart attack, and you know, that amused me, so I'm looking forward to reading this one, even though I won't understand it or I won't know what the hell is going on, but hey, that can happen. Then the fourth challenge is to read a book about a character that is very different from you, and for that challenge I have chosen The Story of a Brief Marriage by Anouk Arutprahasam, who is a Sri Lankan author, and this is about a young guy who is living in Sri Lanka during the final days of the Sri Lankan Civil War. And one day a guy comes up to him and asks him to marry his daughter because he thinks that the militias won't, or the Tamil Tigers won't hurt a married woman. But, you know, judging from the title, A Brief Marriage, I think that their happiness will be short-lived, and this will be a very sad and tragic book. So, yeah, might shed a tear with this one. Challenge number 5 is to read the book completely outdoors, which I have seen from other people is the most difficult challenge because they live in a very hot and humid climate, but here, you know, it's 20 degrees, there are some cold, rainy days, so, you know, it won't be that much of a hustle here. And for that one I have chosen To Mend the Living, or The Heart. I think it has 2 different titles in America and the UK, by Malice de Kerangal, who is a French author, and this is about a guy who dies in a motorcycling accident or a car accident, and yeah, it's where his heart is being donated, and we follow the person who has received his heart, who has received his donor heart. So yeah, just like the previous book, I think this will be quite a heart-wrenching read, but you know, it can't all be happiness and fairy tales and lollipops, can't it? Then challenge number 6 is to read a book which you solely bought based on the cover, and for that I have chosen The Promise of Happiness by Justin Cartwright. And all the other books that I have shown are quite deep, intellectual, literary books, but this one just seems like a very good summer read. You know, the cover just shows you a quintessential British village, and I want to read about that. I have actually no idea what this is about, but I'm expecting pastry shops and long walks along the village green, so that's all I really want, so yeah. And then, like I said, the 7th challenge is to read 7 books, and for my 7th book I have chosen some non-fiction, and that is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I've been a long time fan of Trevor Noah. I've seen a couple of his shows, of course The Daily Show, but also one very amusing turn on QI, which really enthralled me. So yeah. I know that he was born in South Africa, so I understand a little bit of African, because, you know, it is related to Dutch, and this book is telling his story, how he was born from a black father and a white mother. So he was born a crime, because in that time of apartheid, people weren't allowed to have interracial relationships. So yeah, really looking forward, really intrigued to know how his childhood has been like, living in such circumstances. So those were the 7 books I'm planning to read in the coming week. I'm pretty sure that won't be happening, but you know, one can always try. Like last year, I'll try to vlog it also, because it's always nice to look back on it. And you know, if you have any not really recommendations, because 7 books in 7 days are more than enough. But you know, if you have any thoughts or other things you want to discuss based on those books, or you know, just have a chat, please leave a comment down below and we'll have a talk about it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be a vlog, hopefully. Bye!